What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to Max Holloway's latest video where he talks about his future, talks about what's next for him. It's called I'm Done Next Chapter. I'm going to be giving you guys my reaction and my thoughts, so let's jump into it. It's obviously pre-UFC 308.
It is what it is, right? You know, at the end of the day,
it is what it is. Gotta love a Max Holloway. It is what it is.
no excuses, man. No excuse at all. You're not gonna get one excuse out of me.
That's good.
I felt good. I felt great. Camp went great. Injury free. Cut went great. A lot of people thought I was up on the scorecards.
Kind of irrelevant, isn't it? Maybe, maybe not. But the part where he says, you know, he felt great, no injuries. I hate it when people make excuses ahead of time. Dominic Cruz set a great example of not to make excuses ahead of time, after the fact, excuse me. So I'm glad that he's not making excuses, didn't make excuses in the octagon, not making any excuses now, to this day. And, you know, it's good to hear that he is saying that there was nothing actually wrong.
Before that left hook from hell landed, you know, so I made the walk. I knew what I signed up for, and that's what happened, you know. Ilia was just a better man that night. That's just it, you know. He was a better man that night. It was his night, and, you know, hats off to him. Does it sting? Does it hurt? Of course. I'm a human. That's what humans do, you know, but it's trial by error. I got knocked down before. I get right back up, you know. Literally, this is the first time me getting knocked out, literally, stat-wise, but we come back, man. We come back every time, and I'm excited.
And he has come back. I mean, he's come back after his Conor McGregor loss, went on that long run, the Volk losses, where he did really well in a bunch of those fights. Maybe some of the fans have him winning, but I don't know about that. And he's always found a way to come back. So that's true.
You know, I'm excited for the future. I only can get better. You know, there's only up. Only thing left to do is go.
The age-old conundrum, is the only way up. I mean, Max is 32. It's not old, but I mean, he's had a lot of fights. I hope he's not chasing the dragon. I really hope he's not.
Go up from here. That's all I can say about it. I felt good. We'll watch the tape back. I was feeling good. I was landing.
He did look good. I won't lie. He did look really good. But, you know, depending on what you want to do next, it's neither here nor there, because, you know, most of these guys are in it to be champion. And if he can't be champion at 45, then what's he going to do?
I was landing my shots. He was landing shots. Just one of the shots that he landed was just much cleaner, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
A lot of people,
fair enough,
then make excuses. They'd say this, they blame this, they blame that. I ain't that type of man. You know how much times that I was on the other end of this? Yeah, I know how other fighters feel now, so.
That's why people love Max Holloway.
It sucks, but this is the game. Mixed martial arts is the hardest sport to come back from stuff like this, you know? In any other game, in baseball, in basketball, in football, you're gonna have one.
I wish Americans would start naming more sports outside of those only played in America.
One off night, you can just totally suck. A couple days later, you get to go back out there and just be the man again, and everybody will forget of the last performance, you know? MMA is much different, man. You'd be lucky if you able to fight 2 to 3 times a year, you know, 2 times a year. So it leaves a taste in a lot of people's mouths for a long time until I can erase it. So
that's a fair point. I mean, you don't have next weekend to just erase your last performance. It's only as good as your last performance. You've got to wait months, sometimes a year, to erase that. So it's a very underrated point.
If I get the shot to erase it, we gotta live with it, man. I ain't gonna make no excuse. I ain't gonna say nothing. I did everything that I could control. That's all I can say. I came out short. I was on the other side for these a lot of times, you know. It's a learning experience to be on this side, man.
You win some, you lose some. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. And it's good to see a fighter say that.
A loss is only a loss if you don't learn. And I learned a lot about myself. And you know, the main lesson I learned is just sometimes don't get too comfortable. Everybody talk about how hard a punch he is. His punches didn't feel any different from anybody else I ever fought.
It's so interesting to hear him say that. I did not expect that at all. Didn't feel any different from anybody else. What, does everything hurt a lot, or like, what is it? You know, when you get knocked out, do you feel the pain of the punch, or I don't know.
It wasn't no big difference, you know. He felt like anybody else in there, and then he just landed something that landed. Even the one that landed didn't feel too crazy, you know. So at the end of the day, it was just I felt comfortable, you know. I was in there. I ate some shots early. You're comfortable. You sit there. You try to do something, and it doesn't pay off, you know. With great risks comes great reward, and sometimes with great risks just comes great failure, you know. At the end of the day, if you are not reaching for the stars, then you're not living. Just because I feel.
So that's why I'm saying it's interesting, because like, if he could, does he feel he can beat Topuria? It's talking about being up on the scorecards and talking about how they were very equal and stuff like that. So does he think he can beat Topuria again, or, you know, because he's only in it to be champion, most definitely. So now that he won't get another shot, is he going to be in it for that?
Short ones doesn't mean it's going to scare me off, you know. This is what it is. This is mixed martial arts. This is MMA. This is sport. This is life. It's not how you start the race, it's how you finish. And it's a marathon, and we're still running this marathon. So for all the fans, everybody who's sad and keep checking up on me, I'm alive. It's not a funeral. I didn't die. But man, I didn't even go to sleep.
That's true.
I got dropped. I got punched. It is what it is. I got grounded probably a little bit. I was still conscious the whole time. I knew everything was going on. When Galder was above me, he told me stay there, lay down a little bit, you know, catch my bearings. But I was fine. I mean, a lot of you guys are taking it harder than me, and
that's cool to hear him say that. You know, he's not taking it as hard as what some of the fans might be taking it, and that is oftentimes with fighters, with the respectful nature of most fighters, is like it's usually the fans that are the problem and not the fighters with each other. Case in point, Dricus du Plessis fans versus Izzy fans.
I appreciate you guys for that, but at the end of the day, I'll be back. I've been put in a corner. Nobody puts Bless in the corner, baby. Nobody puts Bless in the corner. And I mean, when one door closes, another door is open, you know. And I always told you guys, having options is always great. This might actually be, you know, maybe it's like my Phoenix moment. You know, from the ashes, we reborn. So we're on to bigger, better stuff, and walking through a new door and starting a new chapter. And I'm a big believer in saying never say never, you know. And the big question right now is, was that your last fight at 145?
That's what I wanted to know. It's what I thought. Before the fight, I did say, and after the Gaethje fight, like, he looks a lot better at 155. And, you know, obviously if he beat Topuria, he would stay at 45. But do you want to cut that much weight the whole time? I take it he's going to get to the answer. You
guys kind of saw me touch upon it in the press conference, and I can honestly say I think I'm done with 145.
Done with 145, so there he confirms it.
Your boy is, like I said, we're only getting older. I turned 33. This cut was, you know, no excuses. This cut was easy, bro. You know, shout out to Tyler Method, shout out to my wife. They helped me make this cut really easy, but it takes a toll cutting weight, period, and whatever weight you are. Like I said, I had to give up ramen for my 45 cams, so I'm done with that.
I had to give up ramen for my 45 camp. Such a Max Holloway thing to say.
I don't ever want to give up ramen again. 155, here we come, and
nice.
155 is where I want to stay. This is a new chapter. This is where we start. This is where we begin.
Do you guys want to see him fight? I know there was talk, or there's a lot of fans that want him to fight Dustin Poirier. I think that would be a sick fight. Dan Hooker, maybe? That'd be a fun fight. I don't want them to do a BMF tournament. I think a BMF belt is useless. I think it's just a gimmick belt. And we've seen him, and we've seen Max Holloway and Gaethje, and we've seen Hooker and Poirier. So why not make Gaethje, Hooker, Max versus Poirier. I'd like to see that. Who do you guys want to see him fight?
And I'm super excited for it. I cannot wait. You know, like I said, never say never, but I can honestly look you guys in the eyes and tell you guys, I'm probably not ever going back to 45. I loved what I did. I did what I did. You know, I did what I had to do there. I worked my way back. I clawed my way back up to the championship fight multiple times there. I was a champion. I defended at that weight. Now it's time to move on to the next chapter. And 155, there's a bunch of fun fights that I cannot wait to take. You know,
Tell us who you're fighting, Max. Tell us who you want to fight, man. Let's hear it.
we're gonna take some time off. We're gonna relax, heal.
True, fair
I
enough.
owe my wife some downtime and some trips. So that's all we're gonna do. But when I do make the return, it's gonna be at 155, and we're there to stay. I went up to 155 on multiple occasions. You know, we went up there the first Dustin Poirier fight. But if you could see, you go back to that fight, your boy just made 155. And Muffin Top Max, that's what they called me back then. But when we went for the Justin Gaethje fight, we took it, we not serious, but we did the right things. But when we did,
See, it's a fair point. You know, we have seen him fight Dustin Poirier. We haven't seen him fight Dustin Poirier at his best and prepping properly for 155. So it'd be great to see them fight one another. I'd like to see him get that win back.
take the Justin Gaethje fight, my thought was no matter what happened, win, lose, whatever happens, we was always gonna fight Ilia Topuria next, you know. So while we was getting ready for that 55 fight, we always had in the back of our mind that I was coming back down to 45. So at the end of the day, I felt great, I felt good, but even the version you saw myself at 155 against Gaethje is not the full version, because we had the idea of going back to 45 because I wanted that world title, you know.
That version will do you just fine, Max. That version is more than good enough.
I can't wait for the future, you know. If you guys thought that version of myself against Gaethje at 300 was good, I can't wait to get in the lab with my coach Dan.
Can't wait.
Put some size on, put some right sides without worrying about going back down a weight. I gotta sit down with the coaches. I gotta talk with the team. You know, my health always comes first. But you know, personally, if I got to choose a timeline, International Fight Week. I would love to be back on the 9th island.
International Fight Week, okay. So we're looking at what, 7 weeks, months from now. It's for a good enough amount of time. Definitely go eat a lot of food and go get big.
Vegas. Huge fight card is International Fight Week all the time. See who's there at that moment, you know. I don't know who's going to be available at that time, but ideally, International Fight Week, Las Vegas, big fight card, making my return back to 155. And, you know, with me being ranked at 55 is great. Hopefully I can fight somebody in front of me. We get a big win, you know. Who knows? We might be knocking on another title fight at 155, you know, at lightweight. So at the end of the day,
how do you guys think he'll do against Islam Makhachev? I mean, Islam Makhachev might not be the champion by that time. Could you imagine if Topuria goes up and wins the belt at 55 and they go to fight at 55? That would be something to see. I do think Arman Sarukian is going to be the one to dethrone Islam Makhachev. You can clip that and play it for me in the future. But I'm not sure about Max versus Islam. I think Islam's wrestling is just too good and too strong, and I think Islam would put him away. I'm sorry, he's just too big and strong for him.
all I gotta do is take care of myself, take care of my health, control what I can control, get my body not physically but mentally ready to get back in the lab after, you know, my vacation and some much needed time off. And the BMF title is a 155 title, so if it's the BMF title with someone,
please no, please just get rid of that piece of garbage. It's such a gimmick title. No one who's defended it and lost has given it to the person that's beat them. So what is the point of that belt? It's like, technically Kamaru Usman is the BMF champion. No. Leon Edwards, no. You see, Bilal Muhammad is technically the BMF champion because Usman beat Masvidal. Usman was beaten by Edwards. Edwards lost to Bilal. So Bilal's actually technically the lineal BMF champion, but they just chuck this BMF belt on everybody. It's like, get rid of it. Just get rid of it. You don't need it.
so be it. If it's a number one contender fight for 155, so be it. Whatever happens, happens, you know.
Could you imagine Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira? Like, how fun of a fight would that be?
Whatever UFC wants to throw at me, you know, whatever Dana White hunted them want, especially with that BMF stuff, you know. Before the fight, they was talking about maybe doing a tournament. Who knows if that happens?
Please no.
There's a lot of guys at 55.
I mean, I'd like a tournament style. Don't get me wrong. You'll have a lot of fun fights that you could make, but it's a gimmick belt. We've seen him and Dustin, but I'd like to see him and Dustin in a, you know, with a proper camp for him. We've seen Dan Hooker and Gaethje. Those were the 4 fighters that were discussed. So make Gaethje, Hooker, and make him and Dustin maybe then, I guess. But do I watch it either way? Like, I don't know why I'm saying like acting like I won't watch it. But BMF belt, gimmick, stupid. Make a tournament, whatever. But yeah, no.
With the BMF talk, a motto I live by, a motto my wolves live by is never effing give up, man. Never give up. And that's
like his
always
attitude.
been my motto. And like I said, I see all the love, I see all the support. There's nothing to feel sad about. This kind of stuff happens. It happens. It's life. It is what it is, you know.
The question now just becomes, do you step away, or do you continue on long enough for things to get worse and things to really get sad to the point where you feel sad? That's the question.
I mean, and again, thank you guys for feeling that way, but never give up. I've been here before. You know, I've been here before. I've been knocked down, and I get to show you guys again. How much times where we was put in the corner and we claw and fight our way back. This ain't no different. Lastly, I would just like to thank you guys. Thank you for the Blessed Expressers, my friends, my family, all you guys. Thank you guys for non-stop support, belief. You guys know this ain't it.
I'm happy he's not retiring, honestly. I think there's a lot of fights left for him. I'd like to see him do a 55 run, provided he does it right. And man, just hearing the dude talk, man, he's such a legend, such a nice guy. How can you not like Max Holloway? Like, I don't think there's very few MMA fans that don't like this guy.
You know,
and this is why.
Wipe those tears. Like I said before, never give up. Without the rain, there'd be no rainbow, guys. I understand about feeling bad, but let's get that feeling out.
Legend.
Of here. It's time to move on. It's time to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and keep going, man.
Dude, how can anyone dislike this guy? Like, what a fucking legend. What a legend.
We're only getting better. I stood young. I'm 32. We have champions that's close to 40 in the UFC. So I got nothing but time to go
at heavier weight classes, but yeah, fair enough.
get a belt back, guys. Let's calm down. It's not the end of the world. I got caught. This kind of stuff happens. It's my job not to let it happen again. And I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna work my ass off.
Fair enough. In like what, 30 fights is the first time that he ever got knocked out.
To not let this moment happen again. And remember, guys, you guys can't let moments like this, your guys' lowest points, define you. Do not let these moments define you. If it does, then the world's winning. Don't let the world win. The world is your oyster. Go out there and do what you want to do with it. Tough times don't last, tough people do. The Blessed Express is still on the move. Make sure you guys get you guys tickets. Make sure you guys get you guys seat. Buckle up. Because we rolling, baby. See you guys later.
What a legend. What an absolute legend. So, Max Holloway moving to 155. I think there's a lot of fights from him 155. I'm really happy to see him go up to 55. Like to see him with the proper camp and see what he can really do. There's so many fun fights. And a lot of those guys at 55 actually are coming towards the tail end of their career. Poirier is probably on his last fight. Gaethje, if he loses again, probably out soon. Hooker's probably out soon. Charles Oliveira's probably out soon. Michael Chandler's probably out soon. We could see Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway at lightweight. I think it's interesting. I'm just so happy I watched that video, man. I'm in such a good spirit now. Like, the guy's such a legend. And what a motivation, man. What a motivational person. So let me know what you guys think about Max Holloway's future, him moving up to 55. And yeah, let me know what else you guys want me to react to. Have a good one. Stay blessed.